The Mello TV Evening News at 8 is brought to you by the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Coronavirus is in Jamaica, and I know you feel scared and worried. But you can't let COVID-19 divide us. Coronavirus infects all kinds of people. It doesn't discriminate. So why should you? When someone coughs or sneezes or shows signs of the virus, tell them to call 888-1-LOVE immediately. And remember, stay 3 feet away, but don't attack or disrespect them, because we're all in this thing together. Come on, Jamaica, cut the hate and don't discriminate. Let us stand together and fight COVID-19 as one family, one nation.
Coming up in this evening's news, Jamaica records 14 COVID-19 recoveries in the last 24 hours. A large gathering of family members were on hand to welcome the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas that transported over 1,000 stranded Jamaican ship workers to the island. Still tonight, Jamaican students will sit the CSEC and CAPE examinations commencing July 27. And Minister of Finance and Planning Dr. Nigel Clark announces that 80% of the applicants to the government's Care Compassionate Grant have received payments through remittance services. Good evening, and now the news in detail. Jamaica has recorded 9 newly confirmed cases of COVID-19 in the last 24 hours, taking the total number of persons infected with the virus to 529. The announcement was made earlier this evening by Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton. 6 of the new cases are workers of the Marella Discovery 2. One is a worker from the Alarica call center. Another is a contact of a confirmed Alarica case, and the other person is a contact of a case under investigation. Meanwhile, there were 26 more recoveries from COVID-19, taking the total of recovered persons to 171. Still making Mello TV news, Prime Minister Andrew Holness has assured the Jamaican cruise ship workers on board the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Seas cruise liner that the government has not forgotten them, as they have been working endlessly to get them home. More on this story with our Mello TV News reporter, Killeen May.
Following the docking of the Royal Caribbean Adventure of the Sea cruise liner at the Falmouth Pier in Trelawney yesterday, Prime Minister Andrew Holness in a statement assured the Jamaican cruise ship workers on board that the government had not forgotten them and that they must be assured that the government have been working endlessly to get them home.
It is important for your note that we have been in discussions with Royal Caribbean Cruise Line, your employers, from as far back as April 21, when we wrote exploring ways for your return. The cruise line has been very cooperative. However, cruise ships all over the world have had outbreaks and even deaths. Therefore, we have had to agree on strong protocols and make detailed preparations for your safe and convenient re-entry and to protect the public health for your families locally. The discussions with Royal Caribbean, which happened at the highest levels, were quite complicated and could not be publicly disclosed until they were finalized.
Holness stated that the disembarking process will start tomorrow with the parish medical officer coming on board to declare the vessel a quarantine area. Then the phase of disembarking will start. Samples will then be taken from each ship worker. Then they will be transported to a quarantine facility for 14 days.
The parish medical officer will board and declare the ship a quarantine area. This is for legal reasons, and you know that ships operate under special laws. We will phase your disembarkation for testing. After your sample is taken, you will be transported to a quarantine facility, at which point your 14-day quarantine period will begin. It may take approximately 3 days to receive your test results, and once your test is negative, you will be allowed to complete the remainder of the 14-day quarantine period at home. If your test is positive, however, you may be required to remain in a state isolation facility until you have been cleared by the health authorities. Please use this time prior to disembarkation to update your home address details to facilitate home quarantine, as well as to complete the immigration and customs C5 forms online.
Prime Minister Holness further added that persons found in breach of the home quarantine protocol will be fined.
Where persons break the law, there are strict penalties, including fines as high as $1 million and up to 6 months in prison. These are not normal times. We are working hard to keep everyone safe. So, when you go home to complete your quarantine, please take it seriously. Not enough is known about the virus, so even if you feel fine, it is best to be careful. And even though you may have tested negative, there is still a risk of infection. So please faithfully wait out the incubation period of 14 days. As part of the home quarantine protocol, you will be required to download the Jam COVID app if you have not done so already, and to keep your phone charged. This is going to be the monitoring tool that allows you to quarantine at home. I'll say it again, these are not normal times. So in the interest of your health, the health of your families and communities, the well-being of our public health system, our public health officers, our doctors and nurses, our security forces, and all our frontline workers, please take seriously the responsibility that comes with coming home during this pandemic. I say to you, welcome home. And when you get home to your home, stay home as much as possible and stay safe. Blessings, one love.
Reporting for Mello TV News, I'm Colleen May.
Thank you, Colleen. Meanwhile, Chief Medical Officer Dr. Jacqueline Bissacer-McKenzie said in a digital press briefing held this evening that ship workers on board the cruise liner are going through final processing procedures by the Passport, Immigration and Citizenship Agency, PICA, adding that the first set of workers will go through testing tomorrow. They will then be transported to the Bahia Principe Hotel in St. Anne for quarantine. In other news, the Ministry of Health and Wellness will employ an additional 1,300 community health aides, CHAS, as part of a strategic framework to prepare the population to live with the coronavirus, COVID-19. The ministry says they have already received approval from the Ministry of Finance and the Public Service for the undertaking, and the regional health authorities, RHAS, have begun the process of recruitment. In a statement to the House of Representatives yesterday, Dr. Christopher Tufton said the new officers will augment the existing cadre of approximately 2,300 CHAS, taking the total complement to approximately 3,900 island-wide. Dr. Tufton outlined that the ministry has already begun to build out an infrastructure that will allow it to play its role within what he calls the new normal. This approach, Dr. Tufton says, is anchored in the international health regulations for public health systems and will involve the strengthening of structures in 8 areas, namely legislation and policy coordination, surveillance, points of entry, laboratory, human resources, preparedness, response of health facilities, risk communication, and community engagement. In other news, hundreds of community bars across the island reopened their establishments yesterday while adhering to the new guidelines laid out by the government due to the coronavirus COVID-19 outbreak. The government implemented the 2-week conditional reopening for community bars, after which an assessment will be done. Our news team visited some of these bars in Western Jamaica, where most bar operators welcomed the opportunity to reopen their establishments.
Pretty much more relaxed now that we have the go-ahead to now partake of what once was prohibited for our safety. But with exercising care, we're still having our bit of libation, but under a bit of control. So I'm pretty much happy that things are pretty much on the way to recovery, slowly but surely.
I'm thanking the government for what he has done for us during this period. He tried to keep us safe, yes. And the bar, we appreciate the opening, the hours also, and the amount inside the bar.
I give the government big up, give me a praise, open again, that I can back in business, because when he say close, me close, so respect and thanks and manners to him, you know.
We give thanks to say yes, the spirit open again, you see me? The bars then open again. As a mixologist, I want to take the opportunity and say, yeah, greatness. So our tourists will come back home to Jamaica again, you see me, a greatness. Yeah, man, we can make some money now.
Happy for now, so we come back to work, you know, because the corona, they mash up the place.
Now, patrons who were in celebration of the reopening of the establishments also shared their views, expressing that they are happy to have a form of enjoyment for the next 2 weeks amidst the challenges of COVID-19.
Well, I am indeed happy that the Prime Minister has saw it fitting to reopen the bars. And it is good for us who we have lost weeks and months of drinking. And it is also good for the proprietors. And nothing beats when we can come to the bar and have a drink and fellowship together.
Why? I feel probably bar open back, you know. Can get me 2 juice now and then because boy, if you're going early, it suit me. But I feel happy now, I can take a 2 juice and go in. Because that is my happiness. Respect for the bar open again, sir. I love that. Can take me beer like this.
Mello TV, they are losing. Now you hear me now losing. Me, the Prime Minister say, reopen of bar, and I love that, you know, because right now, one little vibes can't hold. And no man have put themselves in trouble because I don't know I lose with it and nothing on to go on, no tourists not pass, we don't have no link and nothing, boy.
We do a nice good corner again, and we take time and touch 1 and 2 and behave yourself. Social distance, people washing their hands.
I'm going to say big up a bro God, Honorable Andrew Holness. Feel like this for my day, you see me? It's such a greatness, you see me? In my heart to say, this come and this day, you see me, it's such a pleasure.
Minister of Local Government and Community Development Desmond McKenzie says the necessary measures will be taken to ensure that there is full compliance with the reopening requirements, adding that a field team of more than 600 persons has been temporarily employed and will be carrying out assessments at the bars over the next few days. In a Mello TV News follow-up report, Portia Green Houghton, the mother of the late Jodian Ferron, who died in a controversial incident at the University Hospital of the West Indies after giving birth to her baby at the Spanish Town Hospital, has launched a $20,000 GoFundMe account seeking donations to assist with legal and other expenses as a result of her daughter's passing. Jodian Ferron died under questionable circumstances at the University Hospital, and an investigation was launched by the police to determine whether neglect or criminal negligence led to her death. Her family says they are seeking the truth and calling for justice, and they are of the view that as a result of a misdiagnosis, her management of her care was compromised. In news from the capital, the family of slain 15-year-old ASCOT High School student NORVILLE Hall spoke out today. The teen was fatally shot by armed men in his yard on 2nd Street in Trench Town on Sunday. According to the police, at approximately 8:15 p.m., residents reportedly heard gunshots coming from the home and alerted the law enforcement officials. Upon their arrival, the teenager was found suffering from gunshot wounds. He was taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead. Norville has been described as being industrious and hardworking by his relatives. Upon our visit to the community, we spoke with the slain teen's grandmother, who recounted what happened leading up to the fatal shooting of her grandson.
Last week, Saturday, I sent him go deliver some eggs in a Rima. And when him go deliver the egg, you know, issue them out, so him asked back for the tray, because you know, so money me have to pay for the tray them. Him says him have the tray them in him hand now. So the man on the wall said to him, say, leave the tray them. And him said, I want them. Instead him say, put them down. Me can't call him, make him talk to. Him say, put them down. Him say, sir, is mine, I'm a grandmother egg tray them. Him jump off of the wall and say, that, yeah, Mr. put them down and thump off of him. and him leg out the egg tray and call a lady where him know and say, come tell a man, I say, I'm my egg tray them now. The lady come out and tell him. And that's how him love him and him take up the egg tray and come over. When him come over, he must say to me, aunt, him sister and him brother. I said to her, I said to them, say, all right. And him say, if you carry 2 more tray egg go deliver over there. I said, all right. Wanna go with him and ask, what is it? And them went over there. When them go over there, the same gentleman would thump off for him. Them see him and them said to him, say, my grandson don't know him. Him just go and say, what him do? Make your thump off for him. Him just start flare up and man a bad man. You can't come ask man about nothing. And Ray and jump off for the one and so me I go for my thing. Who is gonna come from so far if you come ask me. Now ask me nothing. And him jump off and him run off. And then jump back in the car and just drive come over. But 2 days after, him said to me, say, Grandma, you know, so somebody tell me, say, them take my picture and have it over Rima. I say, yeah. And them said the boy say, he must kill me because I shouldn't come over, they come in an argument.
The deceased's grandmother gave us a further account of the day of the shooting.
Well, Sunday night, I sit right here where I'm sitting now. And my grandson I come from the back. Around there, because I have family, I have to say it's a family yard. And him coming from around the back, man, him other little cousin, because the 2 of them want turn soldier. And him come up for him dinner. Because him just come bed and was down there sitting with him and say him feel hungry and come up for him dinner. They come, I sit right and I say, NORVILLE, so the bumper look like the screw drop out there. And him go and look now, bend over, and look at it. And sitting down here, sit down and look, see the 3 gentlemen them come on. And when I look, you know, catch me not to know them young people here in the area. When I look, because I mix and mingle. And when I look at the fire and they shot them, why I know say. And look and see my grandson, them a shut up. And him run off. When him run off, I saw me get up and run off with him. And with him drop right there at the step. Drop right on him face. And the shooter run behind him same way. But through my doorway there, so that bulb wasn't on. Him never see if him run in at the house or if him run at the corner. But him think him run at the house, but him never run in at the house. Him run and drop at the doorway. And me just go and lay down on him and a ball out, murder, you saw you shot me. Me know me never get no shot. But me I say, you saw you shot me just because me don't want him to pay attention. For sister, my grandson lie down on the ground and I lie on him. And that him run them house with the gun and run come out back. My grandson, the next little one, say, when him come in, him say, where the boy there? And run out back and just run and go away.
She also recalled the last moments of young NORVILLE's life following the shooting.
That not start playing on me like a record or a CD, just ripping over. Because laying on him want to say something to me, you know. But I don't want him talk. For the boy even me dump and shh, don't say anything. And all that, when I look before them take up him body, I can see my grab in the dirt for life. You know how I feel. For see my grandson. For see my grandson, I grab for him life. My grandson will have a future. We don't want to walk and kill people because that's all them want to do. I kill people. My grandson want to better himself and to leave Trenchtown, give all who I wanted because nothing not there. So everybody call me like crab. Sorry, I know it's me not disrespect to the good people them. Because you have a lot of good people in the area still. A lot of good people still in the area. But most of them are crabbing a barrel. Like them. We only want about danmanship. I wish what they saw them are crave about danmanship. It don't even put money in them pocket. It don't even put money. As small as my grandson him ever can buy something for himself. I can show you 3 pair of shoes when just wear one time. And he's in buy them for himself. He work on Saturday and Sunday. And when holiday him work, all when him don't have a work, him go they go see Kate and look. Circumstances and which his mother died, you know. Come now, I got the same thing. That's why I tell the Father God, I have to leave. I leave that place I give them, you know. I leave this place give them. Because nobody has no future and they not no good mind for nobody.
No one has been taken into custody in connection with the incident. Meanwhile, the police are asking members of the public for their assistance to locate and apprehend the persons behind the murder of the 15-year-old ASCOT High School student who was discovered fatally shot in Trench Town on Sunday night. Still in news from the capital, shop operators at the Constant Spring Market are calling on the relevant authorities to help to better safeguard them from thieves who are plaguing their businesses. Our news team visited the area earlier today and spoke with one shop operator who was recently the victim of theft. They had this to say.
I work here in the arcade and at a phone store, as you can see, and them breaking here about last year. Break the lock and come in on the inside. Break out the glass right here, so because it is smaller, it wasn't so big. And then cut out the glass, go in, everything in the glass case, them take out everything, brand new, all, everything. It was in the night because nobody really could see right here, so because no bulb never out here, so the store is kind of dark. So them just lick it off and company inside and like for have more security in the place, you understand? So that we can feel more safer.
Now, other shop operators are urging the relevant authorities to offer some assistance to help to safeguard their goods.
First and foremost, when people grab anything from the outside, them use the arcade as a vehicle, as a run-through. I would have like better security measures to put up. You understand me? People here that secure in the arcade, them just do them own thing. Sometimes them they are one spot for the whole day. And we don't know what them is here for. Because shop breaking here several times. The person who own the shop, they lose millions of dollars. Up till now they don't get any recompense. Neither from the security company and the KCC. So would I need a better security company or put up some stricter security measures in the arcade? Because right now we don't even feel safe inside here. The other day I was at the cash pot and coming around, a man was there purchasing something. And a guy from outside come and grab the man chain and run through past security and everybody. So nobody is safe inside here.
And I would love to see the condition of the place improve as in a renovation, because you can see it in a deplorable state. I would love to see it renovated and looking how it used to look, or even better than when it was built, right? And the security measures during the renovation, they can also improve security measures by either installment of camera or more security personnel. That is my concern, because I would love to see it continue to be a nice place for visitors. Don't look aside, because there are a lot of small business and medium-sized business people here that see their family, and a lot of individuals off of this place. So KSAC and the government renovate the arcade because it needs it.
Still making Mello TV news, Petrojam Ethanol Limited, PEL, has paid over $24.5 million to the Consumer Affairs Commission, CAC, as compensation for consumers who were affected by the gas incident in 2015. Only persons that have filed claims that were approved by the CAC will be compensated. Some 380 motorists will be compensated from the payout. Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, the Honorable Favour Williams, has welcomed the move by the board of the PEL and expressed that she hopes that this payout will bring closure to the matter and will be seen as the government making good on its efforts to ensure compensation for the motorists that were adversely affected. Now, in a statement released earlier today, the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology stated that the payment of compensation is a sign of good faith from the government for the affected motorists, as neither the PEL nor the government is liable for the incident. In 2015, motorists across the island were adversely affected when they purchased contaminated fuel. The Petroleum Trade Reform Committee, PTRC, was subsequently established in 2016 to investigate the bad gas reports and propose recommendations, several of which the ministry has been implementing to prevent a recurrence of this incident. And those were some of the stories making news. I'll return with other updates as the JMMB's Joan Duncan Foundation and members of the JMMB Group donate approximately $10.3 million in response to the call from the PSOJ to assist vulnerable citizens affected by COVID-19. We'll now take a break and then join Christopher Scott with sports.
Coronavirus is in Jamaica, and I know you feel scared and worried. But you can't let COVID-19 divide us.